Welcome to part one of the Moodle Gradebook overview. My name is Katie Nazarian, User Services Librarian at Mitchell College. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Today I'm going to show you just the very basic overview of Gradebook, how the Gradebook is laid out, and a common setup of the Gradebook using the weighted mean of grades. So to start, I am on the Moodle Resource Center homepage. This is a course within Moodle that you are all enrolled in as instructors. The Moodle Resource Center is broken down by feature of Moodle, so you can log in here, click on the Moodle Resource Center, and view all kinds of how-to information about the different features of Moodle. Today, I'm going to click over to our Gradebook. In each course, on the left-hand menu, you'll see a Grades option, and this is what I'm going to click on. By default, we're brought to the View tab. This tab structure is our menu for setting up Gradebook. Along the top, we have our top menu, and then as you switch between tabs on the top menu, you'll see different options on our submenu. On the View tab, the very first submenu tab is called Grader Report, and this is where we can see all of the students in our class. I'm going to limit to just myself, so you're not seeing absolutely everyone, but you'll see me here a few times. And you'll notice that the student names are down the left, and the graded items are across the top. You will need to scroll over to see all of the graded items. Some of these students' items have been graded. Katie Student Nazarian has multiple graded items, and the other students in this list do not. So that is the grader report. You can enter grades here, although if you have created a Moodle assignment or a Moodle quiz or any other Moodle graded item, you generally want to grade it at the point of the item itself rather than coming to the grader report. Also on the View submenu, we have a grade history that allows you to see the history of grades if you've changed any student grades for individual items. An overview report, which shows mostly useful to students. They can see multiple courses that they're enrolled in and the course totals for each of those courses. A single view tab allows you to limit the gradebook view down to just one student or one assignment or both. So if you would like to see an individual student's grades or all of the grades for an individual graded item, this is a helpful place to go. And the user report, which allows you to see the gradebook as a student would see it. So you can choose a student from the list of students enrolled in your course and see the gradebook exactly as they see it. This is helpful when wanting to customize the student view, which I'll talk about in another video. The next tab across the top of our main gradebook menu is the Setup tab. And this is where you'll go to create structure for your gradebook and also to define how the course total is aggregated. In this example, and you're welcome to go to this gradebook and see how it's set up, you'll notice that I have categories that I've named based on groups of graded items that count towards the course total. So I have 3 quizzes, and those count as 25% of the course total. I have 2 assignments, and those count as 25% of the course total. And if I keep scrolling down here, you'll see I have a midterm category that I created. That's worth 20% of the course total. And for this example, the 2 items that count towards that 20% have a slightly different weight from one another. The assessment component counts as 30% of the midterm grade, and the final submission, 70% of the midterm grade. I also have a final exam worth 30%. I have an extra credit assignment worth 5 points towards your course total. And I have 2 additional items. These are discussion forums that I've chosen not to grade, so I've left those as 0. They do not count towards the course total. At the very bottom of your gradebook, and when your gradebook doesn't have anything in it yet, this appears more readily, is you have 2 buttons. One is to add a manually graded item. This is for things that happen outside of Moodle. Perhaps a presentation or a participation grade could be a graded item that you would add manually to the gradebook. You also have the button to add a category. And I recommend doing this at the start of the course before you begin adding course content to your page to save time, but you can do it at any time and add categories and move things around the gradebook later. Now that we've looked at the two most frequently used tabs, the View tab for viewing gradebook and the Setup tab for configuring your gradebook, I'll point out that you also have access to creating scales and letters. Letters are already created for you, so it's predefined what constitutes an A plus, a B minus. That is done at the site level, so you don't have to worry about it. The scales are also established at the site level, but sometimes people do want custom scales. Say for a forum, they would like to have a qualitative scale. You can do that here. And you also have an import and export option, which allows you to import or export your gradebook. And we can go into more detail on that if you would like to meet one-on-one. So this is the very basics of a gradebook. The aggregation methods we'll go over in a separate video. So now that you know basically how a gradebook is set up, I encourage you to watch part 2 on aggregation methods. Please be in touch if you have any questions. Again, I'm Katie Nazarian, User Services Librarian at Mitchell College, available by email or phone or chat online through the library's website.